All right, what is up, guys? Welcome to a very wet Sunday here in Charlotte. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. As usual, we'll get into this and hopefully have a little bit of fun today. So, what is everybody working on this weekend? We are just trying to stay dry here and some of these cars finished up. J Fusion says, happy Sunday. Well, happy Sunday to you. Hope you're staying dry where you're at. It is absolutely pouring down here. This is the day where we just catch up on everything and clean up the shop and get it ready for the next week of work. So what you're looking at now is a 1987 944S. We've got everything pretty much ready to go back together. We're going to clean up these covers though and this intake and probably get this alternator cleaned up and make sure it works before we put it all together and got to tear it back apart again. Doesn't make any sense. But this car has all new belts, new lifters, new time and chain pads. It's looking good, other than these covers here are very tired. I'll set this aside for now. Ooh, it's dirty too. Yeah, this is look inside a 944S engine. We went ahead and put a new head gasket on here as well and had the head cleaned up and made sure everything was nice and neat. No point in, who knows how long this car sat, so you don't want to find out all too late that you have the car running again and the head gasket leaks or is blown or something, or there's something wrong with the cylinder. So we took it all apart and made sure everything looked good. And yeah, other than these covers, she's back together. You can probably hear that rain coming down. We don't have this bolted on, but there's some vacuum lines connected to it. I was going to take it off, but J Fusion says the dual cam head motors are so beautiful. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're a pretty nice design. I wish they were all 16 valve, but all right, now what's going on over here? I'm hearing some drips. We just had a new roof put on this place. It is really coming down out there. You hear that?
Yeah, I thought it was outside.
Might be. I thought I heard like a, it might be just one of the gutters leaking out there, but it sounded like it was hitting something over there. Yeah, we put some new sprockets on here. All new belts, water pump. This card sat for a very long time. Not sure how long, but we got it all pretty much cleaned up. This engine bay was a mess, but it's starting to look good now. Coming over here, we got this. We got this 83 944. It's pretty much finished up. There's still some electrical gremlins in here I thought I had fixed. We'd found a lot, and the more we dig, we just keep finding more and more electrical gremlins. But Was hoping to have it done Friday, and then we just got busy with everything else. But yeah, all new hoses, all new vacuum lines, new sensors, new spark plugs. He already had new wires. All new fuel lines in the rear, new strainer. But for whatever reason, there's a lot of electrical gremlins in here. So one fan was unplugged. They only had a relay running one fan, so they didn't have the dual fan relay. And whenever you turned the key off, the fans would keep running once you plugged them back in, and the blower motor would keep spinning. The radio was on, so needless to say, the battery died instantly because you had all this stuff on there. Fixed the radio, it was the ignition switch, got that done, but now there's still an issue. Like if you turn to the first notch, the fans just fire up, and if you turn the AC on while the ignition switch and the key's even out, the fans still come on. No idea where to even start on that. So the ignition switch fixed a lot of stuff. So like now you can take the key out and a lot of this shuts down as it's supposed to. But I was playing around, and if I turn the AC on, the fans still kick on and stuff. And I'm like, where do I even begin with that? So one of the things he had mentioned that in the meantime is that he just wanted to put a kill switch on the battery, and I was like, no, we'll fix it. We'll figure that out. But the deeper I get into this and I'm finding little strange things like that, the more I'm like, in the time being, we might end up just having to do that, because who knows how long it's going to take to figure out what someone's done in here. Alright guys, so what projects are you working on? And let me know if I can help you with them. We got a new car in last week, and I was going to show it to you, but now it's pouring rain and I can't go outside, so, I mean I can, but not worth it. It's just a mess out there. We have this barn find all finished up. The only thing we're waiting to do now is some hatch seals and put the rear brakes on. Front brakes are rebuilt, new rotors are on. So yeah, this thing should be running and driving. But just waiting on those little things. We've got the fuel sender in. You may remember when you first started it up, the return line wanted to make a mess back there because we didn't have the new fuel sender yet. But got the new fuel sender in. Runs great, runs perfectly. Can't wait to drive this thing. Won't be long now. Alright guys, y'all have been super quiet today. So you're enjoying the view of the 16 valve, or your car's just doing good? Usually I like to come up with something to do on these live streams, but usually we get so into answering questions that I don't really see a point. I'm like, we could play some games, we could do some stuff like that, and then it becomes a lot of questions in, and then I get into all that and keeps us entertained to the end. Sometimes it takes us about an hour to get that going, but you know, sometimes we'll talk about the crankshafts and talk about the heads and all sorts of stuff. I didn't really set anything up because last week when I signed off, it was just question after question. But yeah, I can just make stuff up on the go though. We can like pull out some parts and we can play a game of guess that part. Let's see what we can do. I'm a little run down today. It has been a rough week. All right, I'm gonna pull something out and we'll just play a little game here and there. J Fusion says I still need to do the clutch on my turbo and fix some oil leaks. It's just been too cold. I completely understand. Where are you at? We've been luckily blessed with some warm weather, but it snows and then it's muddy for like a week, or there's ice on the road for a week, and then the sun comes out and it's nice for like a day, but it's still muddy, and then it pours rain, and then it ices, and then it's warm again, and it's just a big mess around here. Says I'm in Northwest Virginia, or 81 and 61. Okay, yeah, I heard that. You guys got a lot of snow up there, right? 30 says, what's up? RC Welt says, hello from Germany. Nice work, man. Well, thank you so much. Glad you could join us. I've got a bunch of parts over here I thought we'd have some fun with. Wow, it's a little lull in the stream. I want to make it fun now. I want to find the part. No, I got big blasted stuff over here, but this looks too easy. We're gonna go over and see what I've got in some of the plated section here. Oh yeah. So down here in this thing, I'll show you because it might give away something, but we have of stuff, and I don't make it too obscure. I won't do something that's a part that's only on the 968 or something. We'll do something that's pretty common. I want to make sure that it's something that's all 944s. Because if it's a 1 year only 86 turbo part, that's not fair. Ton of parts, but nothing that interesting. Should set this up, but sounds like a lot of you guys are just sort of rained out, snowed out, frozen out. J Fusion says, yeah, you got a lot of snow and ice. Yeah, we got a good bit. It made a mess of things for a while, messed up the roads. I don't ever close around here. I'm open Saturday and Sunday, but it really set us back a lot. So you say you're in Prescott, Arizona. So how's the weather out there? All right, what interesting thing can we play Guess That Part with? I thought I'd come up with like 50 things, but all right, you know what part that is? Your car has one. Not every car has one, but your car has one. Oh, that's nice. Brian Stevenson says hello. Well, good afternoon to you, Brian. Hope you're having a great Sunday. And hopefully it's nice and dry and warm where you're at.
It's plugged for something.
Mm-hmm. All right, this will be our first one. Okay, this was only on 1985 and a half and later cars. All right, guys, can you tell me what this is? Let's guess that part time. This is only on 85 and a half and later cars. Let me turn it around here. There's the front of it. That's what you'd see when it's in the car. There's the side of it. 30 says should hit the 60s. Yeah, we do. And an Autobahn is up for vote. Oh yeah, I think I heard something about that. The roads are mostly immaculate. Brian says wet and windy here in Scotland. Awesome. That's cool. You're from Scotland. Not that the roads are wet and windy, but it's. I'm glad to see you guys coming in from Europe here. J Fusion says oil restrictor for the head. 30 says valve cover bolt. Never mind, it's a plug for something. That's a plug for the cam tower. You're getting that it's a plug. I should also say that I said that it's for 85 and a half and later, but this is only on naturally aspirated cars as well. So that may give you the hint right there. And this is only on naturally aspirated cars. Turbos have something different.
Is it like a plug in the block where the oil is?
It's definitely a plug. Well, what's it plugged to? Oh, this is getting good. I thought this might be a little boring, but this one's kind of fun. J Fusion says plug for the oil feed or return. Okay, where is it located? Because that's it's gonna be one or the other. And where would this be located? Cam tower? Nope, not the cam tower. You're kind of lukewarm there. Let's say it's lukewarm. It's definitely a plug. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. It's covered up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. I think more of the center of the engine. It's not the cam, it's not the head, it's not the block. What's left? Oh, it's not the oil pan either. In the meantime, I'm going to be finding you guys something else to be figuring out. Maybe we'll play this and I'll give away like prizes. I've got like 1 million Hot Wheels. We'll do something kind of fun like that. All right, I think everybody's just bored of that. So anyway, This is, are you ready for the answer? And then we'll try and come up with something else to do. This one was a little too obscure, but I thought it would be figured out in a second. I got something that's so obscure that even I'm like, I don't remember where that goes. Sometimes it takes a minute. I'll pick something up and I'm like, wow, it takes me a second to remember where that went. And again, I'm trying to make these where most people have seen it in some time or another. So this was the oil feed for the turbo block off that's on the balance shaft. So on the balance shaft case, this would be on the outside of it there. And so NA cars only had this to block off the oil feed for the turbo. All right, guys, y'all got pretty close, and then it seemed like you got bored of it. So we'll find something else. Yeah, I don't want to do like common things. Everybody knows what that is. Yeah, most of them are rusty, so they don't look quite like that. I've got other stuff here like this, but like I don't think anybody's gonna know where that goes, so we're not gonna play that game. And I got other stuff that's might be fun but a little too obvious. So it's got to be that fine balance of yeah, it's fun. Let's see if something else. I got a million things here, but nothing that is just for 968 or nothing that's just for 944 turbo. Would be a pretty common one. Yeah, when I'm trying to look for it, it's never here, but we got plenty of places to look there. We're going to find something fun. So, is it worth it turbocharging an 8-valve 944? Not where replacing the pistons and doing a tune and stuff. It's really not. When we turbocharge cars here, we pretty much replace the entire engine. It's a completely different engine. If you're just going to boost an 8-valve, you're going to make, 5 psi without blowing the head sky high. And yes, you can put some engine management stuff on there and modern engine management. You can dial it out, but yeah, the thing I don't like, somebody asked me not too long ago if we do aftermarket engine managements like micro squirt or mega squirt or whatever, and I'm like, we used to. I just don't have the time for that anymore, because you'll get it to where it runs on a nice sunny day, and you'll take it out the next day and the rain has got just a tiny little skip in it that drives you crazy. It drives fine other than that, and then the next day it drives fine, but then you end up just like constantly messing with it. And next thing you know, you've quit your job, you're spending 40 hours a week trying to figure out like where this little tiny skip is in the system, and you just never can figure it out, and it ends up being like a spark plug wire that it's the most maddening thing. And then like you've lost your house, you lost you lost your, it's not worth it for us to do that. You just never can get it right. And yeah, you can run a little bit more boost in it, but it's just better to like stick with what's known, plug and play stuff, and just go on about it. But turboing an 8-valve is going to be, you put a turbo on it, you make maybe 50 more horsepower without the thing blowing sky high, if you're lucky. And when you could just put a turbo engine in there the first time and plug and play it, and you have up to 150 more horsepower, and you don't have to touch it again. Turnkey drives. Whereas with that, you'd just be playing with it the rest of your life, and it's not fun. Sounds like a lot of my projects, and I appreciate the honesty. Yeah, man, I just know it's just experience, you know. We used to love doing stuff like that. We used to tune and do all that stuff, and I used to make chips, burn chips for these cars, and we used to, I've got MAFs that I've built for these cars, and I put the MAF in there, and it runs fine, and then it doesn't. It's a long start. You get the long start finished, and then you find another little issue. Now the car runs a little bit rich, but now when you take it out, then once the car is warm, then it runs pig rich, and so you dial it back, and now it doesn't cold start, and it's like, I have more things to do in life than sit there and chase this stuff down. I want something that's, I just plug it in and it just goes, and I don't have to mess with it, you know. When I was in my 20s and stuff, I didn't mind that. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. And nope, that's a lot of time and life wasted on trying to dial this stuff in. I don't mess with it anymore, but yeah, I've been there, done that, so we don't play with it anymore. Okay, and then he mentioned the low vacuum issue. So 87 turbo, 10 inches of mercury at startup. Okay. AFR 15.5 cold, 16.5 warm. We'll hit 14.7 for a minute when closed loop kicks in, but only for about a minute, then increases. So, I mean, 10 inches of mercury means that you've got a vacuum issue somewhere. The air to fuel ratio at 15.5 cold, 16.5 warm. It seems totally unrelated, the two things. Check, you know, you're measuring that probably with a analog boost gauge. So just make sure that everything is tight. If you have the silicone vacuum line kit, I mean, that's not much to lose. I mean, you might just go in there and just tighten one thing up and you'll gain, because you're only going to be at like 18 inches of mercury with everything tight. You're never going to get like 20 or anything. So you're only like 8 inches of mercury off. And I've seen cars that don't even get 10 inches of mercury and run fine, but it sounds like something's loose. But as far as the air to fuel ratio being off like that, that sounds more like an engine management thing than it does anything else. So I would make sure that your wideband O2 sensor is like completely clean, because when they start to go, you're going to get weird air to fuel ratio, because like you said, it's hitting it and then it's coming out of it. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. It could just be that the sensor is just gone. Like, how old is it? Wasn't an Amazon unit to begin with. We just had a fuel pump straight out of the box. We started the car one time and it locked up. So like, the fuel pump in the car wasn't working with 12. No, this didn't make any sense. But I've also seen DME relays come out of the box and just not work. So to me, it sounds like sensors reading weird. Is the sensor in the right place? Is there something going on with the engine management system? Are you running a MAF or a map kit on it to also verify your readings with the boost and everything and the vacuum? There's a lot going on there. But I would think that going back, if you're doing this like say you've got a system, I don't know what the system is on your car. I'm imagining this is going to be with an analog gauge. If it's not with an analog gauge, is it running through a computer? And is the computer giving a readout to a digital? It might be analog itself, but it might give a digital reading. So if that's the case, then you need to verify that like everything going into that is doing everything right. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's kind of crazy stuff. Do you like the F9 stuff? Yeah, we use it here. We use the computers. We've got a ton of the relays, what do you call them? The solid state relays and the self-priming pump or priming features and stuff. But yeah, I don't really have anything to say about them. We use it a lot here. Brian says I have a Subaru 2004 JDM STI to keep my turbo needs occupied. Well, awesome. Yeah, good running 944 NA is a lot of fun too. So I've got a turbo and I got an NA and I got a lot of turbos here to drive and here and there, and I drive my 924S more than anything. Okay, so a little more information on that car. It was stock AFM, but was rebuilt thinking that maybe the IAT readings are way off. So I'm glad you brought that up. So anytime I get a rebuilt AFM, I find that the adjustments are way off on it. So we had a 944S and we had a few 944Ss here. When they go out, the only option is, because you don't see a lot of used AFMs for 944Ss, and so we send them off, and every time the car comes back running very, very poorly. And we'd done everything to this car, and I was getting ready to send it home, and just like 2 seconds before the owner shows up, I decided I would like look into this. So we have everything to check and see if the car is running rich or whatever, and the car was running, like you said, was running like wildly rich. And so we adjusted this, cleared up, car ran like $1 million. So every time I've gotten one back, they're not adjusting those properly. So they probably just put them in a few turns and call it a day. They're like, yeah, it's rebuilt, but they don't adjust that, and that can cause some running issues. Now, whether or not that's going to drop you down to like 10 inches, it could if it's just so too much air coming by that, you're not going to build up any vacuum. So, well, I mean, you're still going to have vacuum because throttle plate's closed. But yeah, anyway, check that. Keep an eye on that. See if that's you're too rich. Maybe it might be your thing there. That's what we had on that 944S, and we've seen it on a few since then. So you might have something there. Now that's only supposed to be for idle, but it also, you got to think when the car's running at higher RPMs, if there's less air going past that plate or too much air coming in, well, in this case you would have it would be too closed and you're running richer. So there's less air coming by there, but I have noticed that even in operating range, it does have an effect on it. So can't really screw it up. I mean, you're gonna know since you have a wideband. Now, if you don't have a wideband O2 in your car, don't go goofing with that thing. But you guys may have seen like a video like 10 years ago where the guy's like, take your cover off this and adjust the wiper. It's like, if you do this, it does the same thing, and you should never open that. So don't ever open that. If this has been open and you see glue around it, throw it away. Someone's goofed with it. You can do the same exact thing by adjusting this. You can watch it as you're like, you won't be able to watch it, but without taking the cover off, but I've done it. And if you do this right here and when it runs, you'll watch as this closes here, that's a bypass for air, and you'll watch it go up and down. As it goes up, get richer, and that means you're closing it, and it's going to pull more air through, and it's going to enrich the system. As you loosen it, you let more air through the bypass, and then the car goes leaner. So there you go. Don't have to even do all that stuff. Whole tangent sounds like how I feel in project right now. I finally got my suspension fixed. Car has a gremlin. That's every day around here. That's a lot of cars around here. Any sources of info to properly adjust the airflow meter? That's it. I just told you that's all you can do to it. So people will tell you to take it apart and fix the wiper track and stuff like that. If that's the case, if you find that you've got like a worn wiper track, just get another one, have it rebuilt or something. Don't go in there goofing that stuff up. It's not worth it. We used to do it, and it's not worth it. You'll spend a lot of time in there, and if you touch the wrong thing, it's over with, and you'll just never get it right again. Been there, done that. I played around in there trying to do that stuff like when I was 16 too, but found out that you could just do that, and that's all you gotta do. But yeah, the AFM is not really something to be playing around with. It's just not. If the wiper track's wore out, get it repaired and get it done right. Captain Ho says said hi. Well, hello there. Spoke too soon. You just there's a delay, but yeah. Absolutely, that could be his issue. That might. It sounds like it's kind of funny that he's. If they close that, well, it won't really affect vacuum because vacuum's all in the intake plenum and manifold there. But yeah, he could definitely have something going on with it just being too rich at the airflow meter, especially if you had it repaired. That's when we always see them. We always see issues with them being too rich after that. And I was getting ready to send the car home. I was like, I can't figure out what's the matter with this car. And I said, what the heck? Did that, and the car ran like brand new. And know the guy, so he's been happy with it ever since. And we've seen that on 4 or 5 S's after that. I don't see that much. A lot of NA guys, they can just go buy another one. So like, we've got a 924S out here. The airflow meter's been messed with. Well, I have like 4 or 5 other airflow meters here. We'll just throw that on here. The car's got a little skip. Somebody's been messing with it. We'll throw another one on there and just call it a day. But with the S's, you got to rebuild them. And if his has been rebuilt, it's probably going to be the same thing. So I'd say it's probably a combo of vacuum line somewhere, bringing the vacuum down, and a combo of the airflow meter just being needing adjustment. Let's see, Miata reference? I wouldn't know. Never worked on a Miata. Oh, I think he's saying NA Miata reference. No, we're talking about the naturally aspirated cars. So we have the S here, which is 16 valve, and then we have the... Oh, just messing with me. That is a good reference, though, yeah. I'm not a Miata guy. I had RX-7s. I still wish they made an RX-7, but those rotaries were a lot of fun. So whatever happened with the 968 turbo rebuilding? So we ordered an exhaust port, and so I'm going to tell everybody here, what does a downpipe on a turbo mean to you? We all know that that means the turbo downpipe. Well, apparently, when you order from some of these companies, they used to have it labeled the correct part. But when I went in and ordered some parts not too long ago, I was like, that's kind of cheaper than what I thought it was going to be. Well, it turns out that they do not call it that. So I had to go back, and I had some stuff in the box because we were working on this stuff. Finally opened it up, and guess what? They didn't include the downpipe. Now, on their paperwork, they said they included a downpipe, but what they called the downpipe was not the actual downpipe. So that's in the mail, and then the turbo will be put on there. And then we've had a lot of other stuff in the way here too, so it's been kind of crazy. So I won't get into all that, but but yeah, we're still building it. We have about 4 turbo swaps going on at the same time as well. So we have a 968 turbo, and then we got a 924S turbo, and then we got another 924S turbo, and we got an 83 944 turbo, and another 924S turbo. Just a lot of stuff like that. And then you see we got the barn find. We got this 83, and then there's several other cars outside, but let's see, I rebuilt all 4 calipers and have new brake pads, but still when the car is above 30 miles an hour, brakes are too weak. When the car is about 30 miles an hour, I have to watch the distance of a car in front of me because of this. It just takes too long for the car to slow down to the point. But I've almost crashed a few times. Is this normal for brake? No, not at all. Sometimes these brakes will lock up, like in my 88 924S, the pedal's hard. It's harder than I like. I like to have a pedal that has some feel to it. I put a new booster in it. We put a new master cylinder in it. And for whatever reason, the pedal is just firm. And there's nothing wrong with a firm pedal. Some people think that it gives you, you know, a little bit more confidence. And I'm telling you, if you press the brakes, they will lock up. It will lock up the wheels. But it's not how most 944s feel. So in that car, you know, you touch the pedal, and it's just, you can only push it about that much, you know, just lock up the brakes. So you have cars like that. And you also have cars that I feel are a little bit more normal. That may be just the thing for 88 924Ss, because they changed a lot of stuff. Now it looks like the early setup, but I don't know. That's the, I've only driven 2 88 924Ss, and they both felt like that. So whatever. I don't know if they did something here, magic, but that's just the way they feel. Now in my 87s, you can press the pedal a little bit, and it takes quite a bit. You'll feel it, but it's the way the pedal should feel. It feels like the rest of these 83s and stuff, but at no time should you ever feel like that there's not enough braking. In fact, you know, some turbo swaps we don't even bother to change the brakes, because the NA brakes are fine unless you're tracking. Then you could possibly get brake fade. But these brakes, even the floating caliper, early single piston ones, they don't have much fade. You will get fade on a track, but for the street, no, it's perfectly fine. So your car shouldn't feel like that at all. So whatever's going on, you're saying above 30 is the problem, but low 30 is not the problem. So how does the pedal feel? Does the pedal feel okay? Like maybe it's the booster? Is it rock hard? But then it's fading. So if it's going down over time, it might. I would probably put everything being into the boost, the master cylinder itself. I think that right there is probably going to be your issue, unless you know you're noticing pools of brake fluid around. But my guess is that if the pedal feels normal, but you're not getting enough stopping ability, then it might just be you need to bleed the brakes a little bit better. I'd start there, see if that helps, and then move into looking into a master cylinder. Yeah, let's see. He's got a. Someone asked if he had ABS. So what? I think you said the year of the car up there. I don't think he has ABS, but yeah. I was thinking as a car without ABS, but the ABS shouldn't be doing too much. But could be something wrong with the ABS system too. But that's a little. You'd still have regular brakes, even with the ABS light on. It's gonna drive like a regular car without the ABS. So Dean says, trying to get my 944 to start. Can you please show the wiring for DME? Thank you. So the computer itself, what year is it? And let's see. You need the year, the make, the model. I could probably tell you most of it off the top of my head. Aiden says, excited for the Helen meet. Just registered. Wait, last year, but I'll make it this time. Oh, okay. Missed registration last year. Well, awesome. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have a great time this year. That just reminds me that I need to do this top of the show and the end of the show. We also got a track event coming up this weekend. So if you guys are in the area, want to track your 944, we're going to be at AMP this weekend. I will try and, if you go over to my community page, so go to address on my YouTube and then go to my community page, you're going to see that it's got everything for AMP track weekend. This weekend we're doing a discount because we're trying to fill up these spots, and it's going to be awesome because it's just going to be us on the track. We rented the whole track for the weekend, and it's just going to be us. So come on out. It's going to be this next weekend, the 21st to 22nd. So come on out and join us. It's going to be an awesome track weekend. We got dinner, all sorts of stuff. But getting into the Helen meet, yes, that's going to be June 14th, the 12th through 14th, I should say. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Or hopefully it'll be a record-breaking year. So far, it's pretty good. We've got, I haven't checked in a while. So if you guys are waiting on emails, what happens is I wait till about 10 people register, and then I send out the emails and stuff where we'll meet up and stuff. And then after that, I'll wait till about another 20 people register, and then we'll send out another email. And then I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves. Like, you can email back and forth, and then you're going to probably get another email every time. Just the way the emails work is that I have to add people to the list, and then they're going to miss what we wrote before, so I have to start all over again with the new people that, you know. You can do that on Slack, but it's even messier to do that. The cleanest way to do it is just send out a new email every time and just add more and more people to it. We lose some of the comments, but anytime it's important, we just add it. But yeah, so once enough people have registered for the Helen meet, I'll send out that. And then I try and do it every week once we get closer to the event. Right now, we're still 5 months out, roughly, so.
Yeah. I think it's right when I'm still in school, so I can't remember.
June 4th, you can still be in school
Yeah.
the 14th.
Yeah, that might be like the last day. I have to look. It's like 14th to 21st.
They are keeping you guys later and later in school
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So anyway, hopefully you make it out to Helen meet. And please, if you're in Atlanta, we also have parade laps and stuff you can sign up for. So if you don't want to track your 944, we got all that stuff going on. But I'd like to get you guys out there this weekend. We're just trying to fill up the rest of the spots. I know that a lot of people have been wanting go out there and race their cars, and this is the opportunity. So, and then the Helen meet is a lot of fun. It's completely different than 944 Fest, where everybody goes camping, or if you don't go camping, you gotta get in these really expensive hotels and the condominiums and stuff, and then you may or may not get a parade lap, and we go out there and take pictures of the cars. This is like all back roads driving. Everybody gets to drive. Everybody gets to have fun, and there's dinners. There's tons of events. There's a lot to do in Helen other than that. So we have like some very long mountain runs, and everybody stays in a nice hotel, and or you can get an Airbnb or whatever you want to do. But it's a whole like there's some people that camp, but for the most part, it's like a nice weekend of air conditioning, awesome food, restaurants, and anything you want. If you've never been to Helen, it's a pretty awesome place. But getting back to it, John says it's an 88 NA without ABS. Okay. That's a rare one, but I know ABS was standard. I guess it was just on the S's and the turbos. Yours has ABS, right?
No, mine didn't. It was an option on mine.
Okay. I thought they all did, but okay.
I don't think mine does.
All right, so yeah. I thought I'd seen every S had a ABS on it. So this one's an S as well. Oh, they're wired for ABS.
Yeah,
That's right.
but they don't have
They
the
don't
other
have
way.
it. That's what it is. They're all wired for ABS, but they don't necessarily have it. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Because
Yeah.
I've been fooled by that before. One time I was like, well, it's got to have ABS. It's got the wiring for it. And then we went
Yeah.
down there and it didn't have it at all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So, all right. 88 without ABS. Okay. Yeah, I would look into bleeding the brakes. And if you're having trouble with it,
Yeah, this
I used to have a shop like there was one time it was across the street from me, and this guy, I had a heck of a time getting this clutch blade. I've never had a trouble since, but for whatever reason, this was like a Mazda or something that I had. I could not get that clutch to bleed. I took it over there. He charged me $10. Like, you know, you can find guys like that. But just he made it look easy. So there's always someone willing to help. Relating to the brakes, I've got an 87 944. The pedal is quite hard. I don't feel like I could lock up the brakes if I tried. Put my full weight on the pedal. They still don't lock. Normal? That's about how my 88 924S feels. It's like a very firm pedal, and you don't think it'll lock up, but like if you press it hard enough, like, yeah, it locks up. Like, it'll just lock up the wheels, and you're not really stopping at that point. It's just, you're just in a slide, you're just in a skid. So, it's not normal, but there's a lot worse things. You could have no pedal confidence at all. Like I said, my 88, I tried everything, replacing everything, and I don't know. Some of the later cars just, they feel like that. They don't feel quite like the early cars. The early cars, the pedals got more give, but it's a gradual. With mine, it's like, again, you don't think the pedal's gonna lock up, but then it does. So I wouldn't say that's normal, but I tried everything to get it out of mine, and I don't know what to do. There's something going on. It could need, maybe I need to replace the calipers, or it might be the pads or something, but I've got new pads on it. Replaced everything in that system except the brake booster.
Yeah, I haven't touched mine.
So I don't know. The brake booster was fine. So, but it could be exactly what it is. It could be exactly what it is. Maybe it's not putting enough pressure on it. Because I was thinking I did, but no, I think I replaced the masks on it. But it could just be the brake booster.
Yeah, mine is pretty
Could be a
hard.
weak brake booster, or the type
Yeah.
of brake booster that they use, because I know they used the Girling on the early
Yeah.
cars, but they went to AT on the later cars, or ATS.
Yeah. Depend. This
It-
has a Girling. I think mine's a Girling too.
Yeah, so they have like two different Girlings. The early cars had one type, the later car had another type, but I think I got ATS on mine, and like this one's the ATS. You can see the ATS because they have yeah, they have this design on them. So I'll get that out of my face. So this is an ATS brake booster, and I believe this is what's on my 924S. But
Yeah, this is one of them.
yeah, 924S has got the ATS brake booster, but just because it's a early car or early brake design doesn't mean anything. I had the Girling brake boosters too, so it could just be a difference between the way the ATS brake booster feels and the Girling brake booster, and you can see that this one has the later Girling brake booster. So I don't know. I've never ran any tests on it. Never really thought about it because it's so random what you'll get. All right. Our 944 is going up in value these days. I saw a turbo at Amelia Island last year, but it didn't sell that well. It got beaten out by a S2000 by like $20,000. So it's a really funny market for 944s right now. It's always been like since the 90s. Like it was young adults starting to buy these cars.
Yeah.
Maybe even in the 90s, like the teenagers are getting into them, and then they were putting aftermarket radios in them, and they're gutting them. So like the survivors were getting rare and rare.
Yeah.
And then now I'm seeing a lot of like different people getting into these cars.
Yeah, I saw 87, I think, like a blue one, a Copenhagen blue, with 20,000 miles. Someone paid 38,000 for just a regular NA. That was a lot.
So
yeah.
you just said someone just paid what
38
for a Copenhagen blue, and it was NA.
Yeah, and it needed, like, it was all original in the engine bay, which isn't
Was
good.
it nice or just it
Yeah,
needed?
it was a
it
nice
was
car.
dirty, but it just needed.
It was like original hoses.
Oh, so there's
Yeah.
nothing really been
No.
done to it, yeah. So that's what I say. It's all over the place. So I'm at the dealership yesterday, and there's 944s being serviced there, and there was actually shirts there with 944s on them. If you got a
That's
Hendrick, they got a
surprising.
944 shirt hanging up in there, yeah. And Panamera and all these guys. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I think it was last month's. It might have been the month before. I keep all this in the bathroom. Hey, if you guys want some Panameras, let me know. I got a stack of these stupid things. I don't use them for anything. But you guys probably saw this, but that was Panamera. January or December?
Oh, yeah.
November. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. It went by faster than I thought it did. But yeah, so 944 prices are all over the place. I'll see a
Yeah.
turbo sell for like $70,000, and I'll see another one sell for like $30,000, and it's the one that sold for $30,000 is nicer than the one that was
Yeah.
$72,000.
Yeah.
And then I did the same thing. So there was an 83 944 that sold for $18,000, and it was nicer than the 944 that my mom drives that she got for
Yeah.
less than 10. And so I think the market is just trying to figure out where these cars are. I think
Yeah.
they just don't know.
Because the auctions are trying to, like,
Yeah,
Bring
now
them
stay
up.
away from auctions and stay away from some of these other I was
Yeah,
gonna say these other
private.
private auctions and
Yeah.
places, these websites. So, because
Yeah, because
I don't want to, I try and be vague about customer cars. I don't speak about the customers, and I don't talk about their personal dealings and things. So when I talk about stuff, it's nobody's public business or what goes on.
Yeah.
But I have seen cars that I'll see on Marketplace for $10,000, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I would pay 7 at the most, and even then, like that might be stretching it because it needs like everything. And then you'll go over, and then they'll sell on
Bring a trailer. Or something.
Bring a Trailer or something for like 15, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Like, but you know, the market's the market. You know,
Yeah.
you can't say that somebody overpaid for something because
Or worth what
people,
someone
it's
pays.
worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. That's just the way the market works. So the prices are just all over the place. And then so here's the other flip side funny part of that is that I've got guys that tell me like, I've got $70,000 in my 944. And I'm like, I got a 940. Well, I got my 924S that I bought like, it's been 10 years, a little over 10 years ago now. I probably have like, with the tires I put on it, I probably have like $3,800. Like, that's with the purchase price of the car too. Like I've got like that car that I took cross country. I probably have like $3,800 in that car, and I got all new parts that go in it. I've got like new seats. I've got a new dashboard. I've got everything lined up to get it painted, and I'm like, I'll never drive it again. It's just my daily beater. It drives well, everything works. And I'm like, I'll just never drive it again. I'll park it in the garage and forget about it. But like, I don't really know. I mean, that's with like new head gasket, new bottom end gasket set,
Yeah.
new hoses, new vacuum lines, and probably like 3 sets of tires since then. You know, it's like I did all the work myself, so I'm like, I don't know, I probably have like closer to 5, 6 in it to be realistic. But like, I mean, that's it. Like,
Yeah. Doing it yourself saves
yeah.
so much money.
So I'm like, how are you doing this yourself and you still got $70,000 in these cars? I'm like, that's kind of wild. I mean, you better have like all new paint.
Yeah.
You gotta have like, even then, like, are you gonna spend $30,000 on a paint job? I mean,
Yeah. Not like
I mean,
that worth it. Really.
that would, yeah. And then like you could come to us and for another 10 have us go through the car completely. And then you've got only 40,000. Where did the 75 go?
Yeah.
Where did it go? I mean, well, to be fair, like that would just comb through it. That would get it running. But to be all brand new and everything, yeah, you'd probably have. But you, golly, rebuild the engine and everything for like 75 grand. So it's so funny to like. It is what it is. Jay says, "Happy Sunday, guys. I am way behind on the comments, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. We're just having a good time here. But happy Sunday to you guys out there. Let's see. The Miata is cool, but I'd say a 944, especially a turbo, is a much different car. I absolutely agree. We get guys in here quite a bit that they race Miatas or whatever, and they're tired of getting blown away by 944, so we build them a 944 spec car, and yeah, that little 30 horsepower makes a big difference, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, by the time, if we're not building spec, we probably get more than that. Probably end up with like 50 horsepower over,
Yeah.
you know, of a little Miata, if not more, 50, 60 horsepower. Kenneth says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Kenneth. Aiden says, lucky for me, I live 30. Let's see. I always like the way they look different than your usual Porsche. Yeah. Yeah, they're a little bit different. Oh, he lives 30 minutes from Helen. There's the bottom of that. Okay, someone commented in between them. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you can make it. I've always liked the 944s, yeah, and the 924s. I was not really a big 911 kid. You know, when as a kid, I didn't have a 911 on the wall or anything. I was, I like more interesting stuff than that, you know.
Yeah.
30 says ABS is overrated. Yeah, until you're on the track.
Yeah.
I like it on the track. But it depends. It depends on the track too.
Yeah.
A good working ABS
Yeah. It's
where
pretty.
you just nail the brakes and you don't have to worry about the, just sliding.
Lock it up. Yeah.
Yeah, you can stop shorter distances, and you can also like do dumb things you shouldn't do. If you have to trail brake because somebody's on your line, your racing line or something, the ABS comes in handy. But without ABS, do not turn the wheel. Do not be on the brakes and turn the wheel at the same time. It's not a good idea with ABS either, but it's a lot more forgiving. How do you tell if the brake booster is starting to fail? So that's when the pedal's going to get so firm that you just can't push it at all. So in his case, the guy that was talking to me before, he might actually have brake booster failure. In my case, I don't think I have brake booster failure. I think that it's just, it could be failing, but 10 years later, and then I see it in like all the 88s, I think it just may be the type of brake booster used. So, but when your brake booster's starting to fail, typically it just kind of fails. It's just a little rubber in there, diaphragm. NC Germanicus says 78,000 mile 91 S2 in Maritime Blue just sold at PC Car Market for over $40,000 this week. Wow. It's wild. So the market's still trying to figure out what to do with these cars. And 30 says I'm putting about 100K into my 3-liter builder. Awesome. But that happens too. I don't think we've hit $100,000 on building some of these cars. Yeah, I mean, you go through the whole car, and yeah, I think that I'm looking at some of the prices. He was telling me this morning that one of the local dealerships, like, what did they go through her whole car?
Yeah.
For that?
I think so. Yeah.
No, there's people paying like what, $36,000 to have, huh? $39,000 for like the dealership to go through their cars. I was like, I'm in the wrong business. Keep that in mind, guys, when you want your car fixed. Do it yourself or pay $39,000. Jeez. I'm really, really affordable when I'm talking about like $7 grand to come through some cars and stuff, you know. So. But 100,000 into a 3, yeah. I mean, you could probably have that, yeah, if you go all the way in. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna have to start going up on prices. Apparently, I'm selling myself short. When it comes to that, guys, y'all, I'm gonna start charging more, and then I'm gonna like, you're not gonna see me anymore because I'll just be, in Hawaii, and we'll just get the stuff and we'll get the stuff. Oh, we should wrap it up. I agree. We usually do it for about an hour, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But here towards the end, everything gets more fun and exciting because everybody starts commenting and stuff. How difficult is it to remove the speedometer in an 83 944, especially on school? It's not fun. Pull out the gauge next to it, your fuel and temperature gauge, and then you'll be able to get in there a little bit easier. You have to pull it up a little bit, but it's not fun. I did a video on it, but yeah, only $30,000 to $50,000 to go. Yeah. Oh wow, that's how much you got left. It's gonna be from the ground up. That seems reasonable if you're doing all that stuff. But yeah, things are getting crazy. I think the market's just trying to figure out where it's at. I think sometimes that people don't know what things should cost, and then they just do it. Oh, wrap it up. He meant wrap car instead of painting. So no, I've gone back and forth on the wrapping thing. So uh, wrap can be cheaper, but it can also be more expensive than painting. I got guys that could probably paint my car for $5,000, and I know guys that wrap my car for like 20. So it just depends. If I'm gonna do it myself, I'm probably not gonna wrap it myself. I've wrapped stuff before, and I know how big of a pain in the butt it is, and I just don't have time to do it. But yeah, I am probably not gonna wrap it myself. But I definitely, this was so funny is that I was thinking about doing like a yellow wrap like this with my logo and stuff on it. And so I wanted a yellow car, but I bought a black car, and I was gonna wrap that one, and then a few rabbit holes later, I think that's turning into a parts car. So. Yeah, I want to wrap one of my cars and have it, but I think that I'm going to go through and rebuild the engine and make it look perfect, so that way it's a display piece. So it'll look like a race car to be all wrapped up, but it's going to be like, we're going to have the engine just completely gone through, and everything's going to be brand new. And so when we park it out there, it's going to like, not like this engine, but it's going to have all the brand new stuff on it, and it's going to look like it just came from the factory type deal. So that way we can it'd just be kind of like, hey, this is what we do. But any trusted paint guys around? I've heard of a guy that, if you know Elliot at 944 Barn, ask him. There's a guy down there that does, there's two guys down there. I won't mention any names because I don't know them personally. But I don't know the other guy that he goes to, but he's the one that's painted his cars, and they are freaking amazing. They're amazing. You've seen Elliot's cars, right?
Yeah, they're nice. Yeah, especially I like the purple one.
The purple one looks good, but his blue turbo.
Yeah, that one.
And then the other one that's the guy that works with him, his car. Those cars look. He's got another one too. I can't remember what it is. The green one looks so good too, but I'm talking about his like race cars. What is that other one he's got? He's got like a few race cars. Ridiculous looking cars. So but yeah, going back to wrapping now, the thing is about wrap is that you paint a car, it'll either last forever or fall off in 10 years or 5 years. But wraps, they crack, and they are a nightmare when they crack.
Yeah.
And getting them off and everything. So we've had to take wraps off cars before we paint them, and then they're stuck.
Yeah.
And you're gonna spend like, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 for us to take off an old wrap because it's just cracked. It comes off in little pieces, and you're scraping it, and you're talking about ridiculous money. And you pretty much, and if you've never seen a wrap crack, it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. So you have to pay for like a high quality wrap. You're gonna have like probably $2,000 in the wrap. And then you wrap it yourself, and it doesn't look good. And you pay someone to wrap it, and they want another $2,000. So, like, in that case, you could probably just sanded the car down and painted it, and had someone do it. And then it's painted, and you never have to worry about it again, or at least for like a couple of years. But yeah. Well, the other thing you have to do is you go cheap on the paint, you end up with overspray, and you gotta. Or you don't get your door seals done right. So it's pros and cons to each. Pro with the paint, it's a lot more durable than a lot of wraps out there, but it's expensive. But a proper wrap's going to be equally or more expensive. I once plasti dipped a car, and it cost me like twice as much as it was going to cost me if I just got it painted. And I just didn't make that mistake again, because I was like, plasti dip, I'll peel it off, and I don't have to worry about paint. It'll be chip proof and all this stuff. No, it cost me twice as much as it would if I had just painted the car. And it was ugly after like a year, and it was like, and then you couldn't get it off either. Like, they're like, after it's on there so long, you can't peel it off anymore. And it's like, that's a mess too. So I'm kind of, I kind of like both. I like wraps and I like paint, but I think I'm just going to take it to that guy and just get something ridiculous done to it. But if I do a wrap, I'm going to get like a logo print.
Yeah.
But that guy down there does all that. He could paint my logo into the car.
Yeah.
And I would just put me like a nickel thick clear coat on this thing. So like if it ever gets scratches or something, I can just buff it right out. But, anyway, trusted guys, get a hold at 944 Barn and ask those guys who does it. He said, really had a friend to wrap his car, came out all right. I'm terrified of painting cars, although painting is probably a better option. Yeah, paint's the better way to go. Have you seen the tons of cars, tons of gas car collection in Charlotte? He's in Plaza Midwood, crazy collection, a bunch of Group B cars and RWB 911. No, I haven't seen that. There was an RWB I saw yesterday at Cars and Coffee. Well, we were at Stuttgart Saturday, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Stuttgart Saturday. RWB came in. He drives it all the time.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the same guy. It's dirty. I guess he just daily drives it or something. It's almost nothing's as dirty as my car, but it's been in the snow lately.
Yeah, mine's got mud up the sides.
Yours was pretty bad last week. Yeah, did you get yours washed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mine was. Yeah, yours was worse than mine. But I'm very happy. And purple, yes, it was a purple car. But I think a lot of them are purple. I saw one at SEMA that was an RWB in purple. It looked exactly like this one, but clearly not the same car, but it looks exactly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those guys get them all done that same purple.
Yeah.
We were going to look and see if the tow hook was glued on. Because, like, they filmed him gluing the tow hooks on.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, he just did that so that way the owner could get a look at it before, like, and I was like, well, there's one way to find out. I saw one at SEMA. The one I saw at SEMA was before all that came out, so I didn't look that close at it. But there was one yesterday, and I was like, that's we were just joking anyway. But I did not look, but it would have been, and
would have been interesting.
It'd been rude, but we were just. Who knows? The world will never know, but we were just joking around about that. But, what do you guys think? Do you think they're glued on, or did he actually go back and bolt that on to the plastic that it was glued on to begin with? The bumper that was behind it, he didn't remove. He just put the bumper over it.
Yeah, and they're expensive to get those done.
Oh, it's like insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to fly him out and buy him all this stuff, and then it's like $50,000, and then he just basically I don't think he thinks use a vibration saw and cut your fingers off and oh. I won't say anything, but I'll tell you later. I won't say something like that on live stream.
There's a long wait list.
I like to get you guys in on the stuff too, but sometimes it's not appropriate. It's not adult content or anything. It's just not. Yes, says I recently ran out of fuel after topping the car off. Was running rich, not pulling. I figured I damaged the plugs, clogged injectors. Turned out I had damage to AFM after ages of troubleshooting. Is this common or a frequent incident? No, that happens. Oh yeah. So what probably happened was that at some point your computer got wet, and when they get wet, they do all sorts of crazy stuff. So even if it's like a small drip, um, they'll just short out, and I have seen them lock the injectors on. So you're just driving down the road, and next thing you know, like your entire engine is just filled with gasoline. I mean, up to the brim. You pull the dipstick, and there's just gasoline in there. And gasoline's not a good lubricant, so you gotta shut it off immediately. But yeah, it turned out that the injectors were fine. They hadn't failed. It was the computer itself that just started dumping fuel, and a lot of times it's just 40-year-old components that gotten wet. So it's a freak occurrence, but usually from water damage. I've probably seen that about 3 times now. And he says, referring to the RWB, it's awful looks, especially with all the hype that's around it now. Probably.
Yeah.
But what is it? Allegedly. Yeah, I'll say allegedly. I don't know for certain. But I know a lot of that stuff that you see at SEMA, that stuff don't. I've been to SEMA, and it's all fake. Everything there is fake.
Yeah.
And it's all fake. It's just a show. You go out there, those cars don't run. They don't have axles. They don't have drive shafts. They're all chrome, but like even if they want them to work, they couldn't work.
Yeah.
They've got everything jacked up so far that you'd have a 90-degree in the drive shaft, so you'd have the output here, the shaft going straight down, and then like the other shaft going this way, and like half the time they'd just duct tape like. I've seen them even go to the point where they've spray painted PVC pipe to make it look like the drive shaft, and then they just duct tape it up there, and it's like you're gonna spend $300,000 on a truck, but that's their example of one that doesn't even drive. It's probably never even started. It's like it's a wild thing, but someone said, did you see the V8 Miata with the Lamborghini intake manifold? Had turbos for headlights, didn't even run. No, that stuff doesn't run. That stuff doesn't run. No, it's all made up stuff. And they're paying for space in there for what? They want these people to come in and buy this stuff that's just a scam. Like it's just it's crazy. It's just it's funny to say that, you know. It's like, but I'm not shocked by that. I saw a lot of. There was some stuff there that ran and would do it though. To be fair, like I would say that it's probably like a lot of the cars there are like actual working things.
Yeah.
But there is a lot. Maybe
just fake.
There's too much of it that is just fake, and I don't know why they won't like filter those out. Because I mean, it was a good laugh. I actually was gonna make a reel on it. Like I went around like showing off all the like fake drive shafts and cars without engines in them and stuff, and like 90% were trucks, but yeah, I never did put it out because I'm like, this isn't any of my business. But I'm not that person. I'm like, let people have their thing. But it was at the end of the day one of those things. It's like, why? Why did they do that? Anybody can make something out of cardboard and like put Lamborghini intakes on a cardboard engine and be like, check it out. But anyway, guys, we got a little off topic, and we've been going for about an hour and a half. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll try and have a little bit more fun next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you have a great Sunday. Stay dry, stay warm, and we'll see you next week.